Hi guys, it's Olivia here from Olivia's Catastrophe, and today I'm actually not supposed to be shooting anything. I'm supposed to be working, but you know, the lighting is good, it's the middle of winter, so I'm gonna shoot a video. And I wanted to give you a book review of The Rains by Gregg Hurwitz, which I finished recently. Now this is a sci-fi kind of novel where, you know, these kids are just living their life in Creek Calls, a kind of like country, small kind of place, when something happens that when you turn 18, you turn into these horrible monsters that kind of devour you and want to kill you, and they want to kill all of these kids. So all of these kids hole up in the school and they're trying to stay safe, and they don't understand what has happened to all of the adults to turn them into these horrible monsters by the age of 18. They start to discover more and more about what's happening, and of course Chance and Patrick, these two brothers. Chance is the youngest one at 15, Patrick's almost 18, and then there's also Patrick's girlfriend Alex. Them three kind of form a team and they kind of, you know, do some stuff. So that's kind of the gist of this book. I really loved it. It's so action-packed. For once we have a male protagonist who's kind of leading the way. Chance is really having a coming of age journey in this story. Patrick is his older brother. He's always looking up to Patrick. He always feels a bit lesser than Patrick, but in this novel he gets to be more independent. He gets to look at the world in his own way. He's also very clever. Chance is someone who really thinks, and that really helps him to develop some, you know, find out what's happening, information. A very good scientific explanation is given for what is happening, and of course there's some sci-fi elements in it, but it all seemed really like legit. That's the only best way I can say it. It all seemed very legit, so it seemed like, you know, this is something that could actually happen. So it was a very good explanation given there, and I really liked Chance's character. He was such a sweetheart. I fell in love with him myself when I was reading this book. There's also plenty of action, because just imagine these horrible creatures that don't think for themselves crawling after you, trying to kill you at every possible moment. Of course there's going to be plenty of action. And so the action is just happening all the way through this movie. There's so much suspense. Like, you think one thing goes wrong and then that will be it, but one thing goes wrong and then the next thing goes wrong and the next thing goes wrong and the next thing goes wrong. And it just keeps going until you get so much action jam-packed into this novel. You can already tell that one of the big plot things is going to be the fact that Patrick turns 18 in only a couple days after the world this happens to, you know, Creek's Cause. So you can already tell that Patrick is going to be in a lot of trouble, and that's going to be a big action part for this story. As well as that, I love the author's writing style. Like, he already includes, like, I don't know how to explain it, but he writes in a way that includes the reader into the story, so you as a reader become part of the story. That is essential, and I just loved it. It's so fun, it's so interactive, it brings you closer to the story, makes you feel more immersed in the world and everything that's happening. So I just love the fact that you get dragged into the story as well. And on top of that, I also really liked, well, there were some things that I didn't like. I didn't really like how some things were a little bit too convenient. Like, when they were trying to figure out things, they were like, oh, I wonder what the cutoff age is for when you turn into these monsters. And, you know, by chance, there happened to be someone in the crowd who was just about to turn 18. Like, that seemed a little bit too convenient for me. But there was only 1 or 2 moments where that really happened in the novel. So, for the most part, conveniences and coincidences like that don't really happen, so things don't come easy for the people in this book. I also really like the romance. Like, for once, you guys, for once we don't have an awkward love triangle, we don't have any instant love, but there is still a love issue. There's an issue with the love, but it's not an obvious issue, and I love that because it's unique. Finally, unique romance, and the love issue only really becomes prominent at the end of the book, and so romance is not really a big plot thing. I like that it takes the back seat in this novel. I don't really think I have much more to say. I just really enjoy reading this one, but oh my days, you guys, the cliffhanger at the end was intense. Like, the cliffhanger is massive. It, like, I thought we were done with plot twists, but in the last, like, 50 pages of the book, there's like 3 whole plot twists being thrown your way, and then you're just reading the book and screaming at it, and then you read the last page and then you scream some more because there's no more book, and you have to wait a year for the sequel to come out. Why you gotta do this to me? So I'm just going to be sitting in a corner crying and waiting for the sequel for this book. But while I am doing that, you should be reading this book. I'll leave links to the Goodreads and the Amazon and my written review below, so you can check that out if you want some more, you know, coherent kind of thoughts, because sometimes I just spin this video off the top of my head like I'm doing now, so maybe there'll be some details in my written review that I missed in the spoken one. But yeah, links to that below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and in the comments section please let me know which area or which place in the world you would run to if there are about 10 adults who want to kill you chasing you behind. I think I would go to a church. That might just be my religion speaking, but I would just run to a church. So let me know where you would run to, I'm so curious. And please hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more, because posting every week. I'll see you next week with another video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!